Hello and welcome. This is Julie Silver Stitches from just west of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Welcome if you're new. Welcome if you've come back. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 2 of 2024 and 100 and something. I don't know, I'm in the hundreds now of FlossTube in general. So I worked on 17 projects this month. As of yesterday when I posted my stats on Instagram, it was 16, and then I decided to go bonkers on one thing, so there we go. I do participate in 25/7, so 25 minutes a day for 7 days a week, or 25 stitches a day for 7 days a week. Whatever works for you at the time. So Celestial Gathering by Dimensions was my 25/7 piece. I decided to put 25 stitches in per day because it was also it was also one of my whip go calls. So both my whip go calls? I didn't bring that book over. Anyway, here is Celestial Gathering. It is, the border is done. I was able to finish the border with putting in 760 stitches around that border. And during Whip Go, I was able to put in 587 stitches into the fish over there on the bottom there. And then I started the moon. I didn't have a plan for Whip Go going into it, but that's what it was, to work on the moon. I didn't want to put it down when I had gotten to my goal for the month, hence the 87 extra stitches. But, you know, more progress is more progress, so that's good. And then next month for 25/7, which I'm going to focus 25 minutes on per day because 25 stitches was just not working for me. So 25/7 project for March is Summer by Dimensions. There we go. And oh, bananas. This is where we're at. So I'm almost done, actually. And this is why I was choosing all my Dimensions kits, because everything is so close to done. So here it is at the beginning of the month. I will work on this every day, hopefully, and see where the progress is at the end of the month. Remind me if I don't remember. All the flosses are now down there. All because there's a hole in this bag. That's why. Now I remember. Pausing, please. Okay, so primarily I use project bags, but to store the projects inside, I either use the extra bags that came with the fabric that I get whenever I purchase fabric, which is not very often, or Ziploc bags to usually encompass everything that needs to be with that project, so that when it comes out of the project bag, then it doesn't get all mixed up. Alright, so the next one, I put 1,578 stitches in. This was my goal for my full coverage piece. It was Mini Watching the World Go By Lucy Pittaway. It is now retired, I think. This is one of my full coverages that I steadily worked on for a long time. I started it in 2022, put it away for 2023 because I was just overloaded and couldn't do anything anymore. But here we are. So I worked on parking all my threads. So all of that little village up there on the top there, straight line across. So that is that's the halfway mark of the chart, I think that's what I broke it up into, just so that I had a stopping point, because otherwise. So that was 1,578 stitches put into that. That made me, I think, be at a milestone goal. So I think that was 10%, 5%? No, 60, man, 60%. Holy bananas. We are on the banana train today. Okay, so this is the first full coverage piece that I had started and actually have been focused on finishing. So as you can see, all of the different types of stitching methods are in there. I've gone, I think I started out with color completing. So all of that top part is all in color. And so I thought, hey, it's going to be great. I'm just going to do one color at a time from largest to smallest. And, you know, that's not me. Then I started stitching on the diagonal. And then I think I also started stepping my stitch, like, what's that called? When you do one block at a time, but on the diagonal. And then I've tried Royal Rose, hence the parking. That's not for me. I don't know. I just like stitching. I don't have one method in mind. But I have tried mostly all of them. I've tried parking threads, I've tried not parking threads, I've tried, you know, everything. My full coverage for this month will be back to QS Butterfly 2 by, I'm going to put the artist name down here. These were both Heaven and Earth designs. So this is my starting point. I did get this called in January, so it has already been out once this year. So in January, I worked all the way down here for the QS 600 stitches. I made it, so this is halfway. I am starting to run out of, maybe yes, maybe no. I am starting to run out of, not run out of, I just don't have the colors. So you see all of like the dead space in there. I don't have those colors yet. I don't know where they are. Meaning, I just don't have them in my big stash. I do pull colors and put them on a card. I'll show you that when I come across a project that has a card. So yeah, I don't know. Is this lighting better? Is it not better? Who knows? Okay, my next one is... Okay, so Spring Cottage. It's been out for forever. Like, it's been out all year so far, I think. And this time, if I could find the actual... Okay, so Spring Cottage. Let's back up. Spring Cottage is going to look like this. And this rotation, I put in 528 stitches. So I was able to finish this column down here. So that's the page mark, like that's the bottom of that page. And then I started up again on the roof. The roof is not as intimidating as I thought it was at the beginning of time. I still don't enjoy it, but we're almost done because that's the angle of the roof over there. And here we go. So as long as I get... Oh, good grief. All right, so that's better. Yeah, so it just angles off like the other roof does. As you can see, I did start back stitching, not this time, last time. And I feel like it would be very helpful if I kept going with back stitching, because this is a lot of back stitching. It is in a book called Seasonal Cottages. The designer of it is Alma Lynn Hayden. And I find that I like a lot of her designs. The next month, for next month, there's a choice. So it was, when I spun my wheel, it was supposed to be this guy back here, this frosty winter day. I think I'm going to UFO him. I don't enjoy backstitch obviously as much as everybody else does, even if it is to create a very cute design. So this is where I am right now. I haven't fully decided, but I will show you what I am going to stitch out of a booklet if I don't stitch this. So I did mix up his counting somewhere, and that's why. But this is on a really good piece of fabric that doesn't really have anything else on it. So I might just cut out that corner and use it for something else. But we'll see. That means that I would have to start something, and I'm really on a no starting year. But we'll see how, I don't know. I don't know what'll happen. But my replacement, because I also found it, this was found yesterday. I forgot I had an extra bin of things that I would want to still stitch, but or new starts that I haven't gotten to, or I wasn't in the mood. I didn't know. So this is these. Does that make any sense? There's a bin back there that things that I want to still stitch, but I don't necessarily want to stitch at this moment. Like, I still want to stitch it to be finished it, but it's not calling to me. There you go. All right, so it comes out of this book, A to Z Alphabets. This is, I feel like it's by Sharon Pope. Well, this design that I'm doing is by Sharon Pope, but I think the whole thing is by Sharon Pope. They do have a lot of different, oh, no, it's not. They have a whole lot of different designers in here. So the cover design is by, and I just picked these up at my LNS, so you can find them too, because I still see them in my LNS. So by Alicia Lewis, like Alicia, but not Alicia. Alicia Lewis. The one that I've been stitching on for, so it seems like forever, is A is 4. I don't have a little person really in my life anymore to give this to, but I still want to finish it because it, you know, I still want to finish it. Oh, here's a better picture. The other thing is this, I live in Canada. I don't know what I'm going to do. U is for USA. Yeah, US for USA, but I was thinking at the time of when I first started this, when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I was thinking U is for umbrella. U is like, so it's easily chartable, but not, I don't really want to spell out umbrella in that little space. So who knows what's going to happen. So this is the whip currently. This is one of my oldest whips too. So I ended up finishing the border last night. I'll zoom in a second, but all of the green of the border wasn't done before. When I got to the bottom, the 2 columns of 4 at the bottom, those 2 columns, I ran out of the called for color, and then these down here also were not stitched yet. The 2 side roses, the 2 side flowers, I should say. They're not roses. Anyway, so A through C, D was already done, H is already done. I did add 387 stitches between the green. This is going to be a fairy. She was new. She's all new. This jingle down here is also new. I put a few stitches into this elephant last night. I was color completing essentially until I ran out of steam. And that's how that worked out. I know I wanted to finish the green, but then I also just didn't want to finish stitching on that because it had been so long. So it's pretty exciting. There is a lot of backstitch, but if I find that if I backstitch each letter as I go along, then it won't be as bad. I should label this one the one with all the backstitch. Anyways, so that is option number 2, which I'm liking a whole lot more, and it isn't a booklet, so I think I'm going to switch it. So the called for, what I spun was this one out of this book. I'm not the biggest fan of word play, I guess. It makes sense, but I don't, and Anyways, maybe I'll get back to it one day. It's going to go in my current not interested pile, but maybe one day. I'm going to take a little break and about my whips and talk about things that I found at the thrift store. James is my husband, James and I went a couple weeks ago. He found some things, I found some things. I never thought about looking, like I thought about looking through the books, yes, okay, for sure, because of the patterns and the, the hardcover books that was once upon a time. But then there was this little magazine holder full of leaflets. So there was more, but I didn't save them all. But I got book 10, 11, and 9, 10, and 11 of Paula Vaughn's stuff. So this one is Victorian Bouquet. I was thinking of doing all of these on like really fun fabric, like not the called for normal old school stuff. So Yesterday's Garden, was that it? Oh, bananas. So Yesterday's Garden is book 10. I feel like at one point I'm going to want to stitch these, not right now, but I'm going to hold on to them for future me, because I feel like future me might want to stitch these at one point, and if I don't, then I have them. Fresh Cuttings by Paula Vaughn. So they're all Paula Vaughn, and I know how, I looked at the charts. Oof. I mean, it's no Teresa Wensler, of course, but they're still, I like certain things about all of them. Like, I would stitch something, but I don't know if I would stitch the whole thing. Anyways, we'll find out. We'll find out when future me gets there, because who knows? Who knows when that's going to be. I do have other Paula Vaughns in my stash put away. So I feel like I might be one of those people in the future. Full of... Anyways, we're not going to put that one back in there. We're going to put this one because I just decided this is winning. Because if I was able to put 387 stitches into something without even trying, then... And then I was thinking for that, because that is, again, also one of my oldest whips that A is for. That is by Sharon Pope. I didn't mention that. But if I'm able to do, I counted and I think there's 17 or 20, no, 21 or 22 different motifs left, like different squares left. So if I can do 1 a month, 2 a month, then anything's possible, right? Or if I just keep color completing like I am and just going, because it's all blocked off, and that's what I wanted, kind of, because then I could just jump around and do whatever and not have to worry about counting. All I have to worry about is counting in that square. Whew. Time for a drink. Today's floss tube is brought to you by instant coffee. Oh, I have to show you my quart jar. Okay, instant coffee, milk, and chocolate milk mix. The World, I don't know, Nescafe got rid of my Ice Cat mix. I have no words. I got no words. I've been trying for the last couple months to try and figure out a good replacement. If anybody knows, greatly appreciated, because this, I've adapted to it and it's fine, but it's no Ice Cap. I'll tell you that. All right, so we're still on called for things. So let's keep going, because, why not? Even though I have a time limit, but I don't have a time limit today. What else is in there? Oh, those are the cards I was talking to you about. Okay, so, Simple Gifts, Christmas. Oh, we're out of order. Oh, that's why we're out of order. Hold up. Is it? Yeah. Phew. Okay, Simple Gifts, Christmas. No, not yet. Okay, so Moonshine Cabin by Jacob at Modern Folk Embroidery was my next whip go. That's what it was. This is also a whip go. So my goal for whip goes isn't about the number of days anymore, because that was failing for January. So I turned February into 500 stitches, And friends, you should see what I did with this month. It is kept in a Leo and Roxy Flosco. Okay, just edit that whole thing out. Holy bananas. It is in an Evertote bag using Roxy Flosco. This is the question I have. I understand it's Roxy Flosco now, but when I purchased it, it was still Leo and Roxy. So, am I using Leo and Roxy floss, or am I using Roxy Flosco floss? Are the people that are using Crescent Colorworks colors still calling it Crescent Colorworks, even though they've switched to Color and Cotton? Anyway, here's the notions pouch that it's all kept in. That's my question for you. If the designer, or if the color dyer, or the fabric dyer, or the floss dyer has changed names, do you go by what's written on the labels? Or do you go by what is their current name? Comment in the comment box below if you have any, things to say about that. All right. This was a holiday bundle thing before, maybe in 2018, I think. So before this, before my big tree exploded onto the scene, all I had down here was this little house. So that is 550 stitches. I wanted to, so this is also minus the big moon up here and all of the little snowflakes. Yeah, snowflakes. So part of the big moon up here and the snowflakes are missing, but that is a page finish. Oh yeah, and minus the little bird, but I wanted to finish the tree. That's what it was. The tree coming out of the top of the house, or cabin. Ooh, wrong way. I'm trying to block it out for you. Okay. So I was stalling on this project for a long time because I didn't have the right lighting. And now that I have this guy, life has changed so much. And I think that's why I'm stitching so much, because I can see what I'm doing now, especially on the, I think it's 28 count, but 28 count can't remember the called for color because, they just sent it to me and I got rid of the little piece of paper that it was called for colors. Anyways, everything is called for. It's all Roxy Flosco floss, designed by Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery, and it's fun now. Like I'm enjoying stitching on this now because is that enough words for you? Okay, so my next Whip Go call. So Whip Go for March. 1 in 10 or something. Anyway, so 1 in 10 were both, pattern, sorry guys. 1 in 10 were both so busy. So I am going to break it up and do 2 stitch rotations because I don't know if I can pull off 1,000 stitches in one go. So, So Busy is another Dimensions kit. It's also something that I had started eons ago and I haven't finished it yet. So there's that. And here we are. So it was called in January as well. And here we go. So here's where I am now. So this is the page marker at the bottom of the second quadrant of the page. It is what it is. So the rest of this, I'll get my act together one day soon, guys. Okay. Okay, so so I mainly worked in this this mouse down here, because I think he was already done. So I put a lot of stitches into this little dude down here, this little mouse down there, and so that is the bottom of the page. If I had to keep going, I was going to, because there's some half stitches running along here at the bottom. I did start them, I guess, or they are done. They are done. So For counting, I am counting anything I do as one stitch. Quarter stitch, half stitch, 3/4 stitch. Back stitching, no. When I was counting, oh, I'll show you. It's in this bag too. But when I was counting for my next project that I'm going to show you, I spent one day back stitching the whole outline of something, and I didn't count stitches because that seems too hard. Seems too hard. Okay, so that is not coming back out. Oh, that is coming back out. I gotta put that back in the bag. I'm trying to take out everything from February that doesn't need to be in there anymore so that I can put it back into... Anyways, let's find the book. So my next, in this bag, in this project bag, next thing comes out of this book is the Reader's Digest Big Book of Cross-Stitch Designs. And I know you've mostly all seen it, and I'm going to try and hide the chart. So, here we go. This is Fancy Teapots by, can't tell you, Big Book of Cross-Stitch Designs by Reader's Digest. I have no idea who is designing these. It doesn't say anywhere in the book. I have looked. So, this has been fun. I put a lot of stitches into this month. If this is one of my random stitch what you want when you want stitches, I put in 1,181 stitches into Fancy Teapots. I finished off, so here we go. We're just going to keep using modern, okay. So, I finished off this teapot down here. That was only a little bit done. And I did all of the bunting. 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 And I started up on this teapot up here. So I have 2.5 because this is almost done. He just needs a lid and another part of his spout. And he's done without, there's back stitching, but c'est la vie. And then there's 2 more. And then I'll be done. So this was definitely, I was trying to shoot for a finish. And then I didn't run out of days, but I ran out of too many busy days. I mean, there were like this, I wanted it to be a weekend finish last weekend, but that didn't happen. Hey, life happens. Anyways, that's okay. And so that's that for that bag. Everything's out of that bag now. What's in the next bag? Most of my bags are from Evertote. This one, however, is from, I don't know if she is still making them, but Heather's Handcrafting. She is an Eastern Ontario bag maker. I got it from my sister a long time, Christmases ago. Not a long time, but long enough. So this was a page finish project. So I was able to get a page finish out of this. Okay, we're still going. Sorry, I had a feeling that everything stopped. Okay, so this is Praiseworthy Stitches. It was called in January and also in February. Simple Gifts Christmas. So this month, for my called for stuff, I don't know why. Oh no, sorry. 500. Sorry, I was looking at something else. 500 stitches in the called for, and then like in the what was called for, and then I went on to finish the page for another 300, I think. 320 stitches. So 820 stitches later, we get a page finish. And I should have done this all before, but I did not. At least I did mostly all of my zippers. Okay. So this is on a picture, this plus 32 count fog. I'm going to scroll in to make sure you can see everything. I can now cut off the bottom part if I want, because the bottom part of the fabric, because now, here we go. So this is what we've got. So page 1, that's approximately page 2, and then, okay, page 2, and then that's page 3. That's what I did this rotation. So page 3 down here, well, which is really page 5. So this is a beast. This has too many, I didn't think it was that many stitches. I did the heart, the bottom of the crown. I've done, you know, this over here, these birds, this part of the crown, essentially that whole page. And so that has met my yearly goal. It was my yearly goal to finish the 1, 2, 3 pages down. So I do plan on pulling it out again. This is for my Angie and Alicia wheel. They picked 12 designs at the beginning, 12 whips at the beginning of the year, or late last year, beginning of this year, and well, late last year, and I've been putting the 500 stitch goal into each one of their pieces. And the next, oh bananas, this needs the bag. Where did the bag go? What? So this is also using Weeks Dye Work and Gentle Art thread, fancy floss. This is my first fully fancy thing that I've ever done. Fancy linen, or even weave, because it's Lugana, and fancy floss. This was before Leo and Roxy was a thing, so that's all that. That goes in here. Oh, my friends. So, how's everybody doing? Okay, nope, that bag's done. Oh, this bag. Okay, so I was telling you about how I create my floss cards because, you know, who has money? So, I cut it out of cardstock that come from random, you know, Cheerios boxes, and I label them with all of the labels because this next project works in Pattern Keeper, but will not show me the symbols and what color the symbols are, so I have to keep flipping back and forth to the PDF. I don't know how you guys do it. Anyway, so I wrote the color, and then the symbol, just because it made life so much easier. Well, it's going to make life so much easier. I haven't done it yet. This is on a 16 count Aida, Ivory Aida. Good grief. Good grief, guys. This is also an Alicia Angie whip call. This is a call for Angie. She had chosen Pokemon starters. I'm going to put the designer down here because I really don't remember it. This is what it's going to look like in the end. And this is where I am now. Who's that Pokemon? It's Turtwig. We do have a starting of somebody else. And so my plan is to block off and go get all the way to the top. Because this is the bottom of the wreath. Like, this is the bottom of the top of the wreath. And then so I'm going to go all the way up to the top and then work around, because I was going to do one character at a time, and I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if that still works out, but I'm trying to collect all set colors on one card because, or on cards, because it just makes it easier all in one place, especially with these full coverage projects. That is not the official full coverage of this month, but that's all I got. There we go. I do try and get the full coverages to a certain percentage before I move on. He's just started, so he's probably just going to have to get to, I don't know, the next full 500 stitches or the next rounded up full digit of, you know what I mean? Like a 3.0% or, you know, one of those. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am for those ones, but Talking's hard, guys. Talking is hard. Did it come out of this bag? I think so. Okay. All right, last bag. And then we get to my random sweewies. Okay, so also Evertote bag. Does not have an Evertote project in it. This project, though, I did put 472 stitches into it. This is what it's going to look like in the end. It is SS086 Quaker Sampler by Happy Mood Point Designs. I'm going to do a restart. It was going to be, this is my number one UFO, because it's not going to be able to work on this fabric. My borders aren't going to make it. Like, I'm not going to, but it's pretty. I'm really enjoying stitching it. It's not the pattern at all. It's just, you know, where my color choice is fine. It's the actual fabric. I'm not loving the fabric. I counted by the time I got all the way over here, and I was like, that's not 200 and some stitches down, so I'm not going to make it. Which is sad because it's a fancy floss. It is a hand dyed by Rolanda, color A. So she is also a Canadian dyer. So go check her out. She is located in Ontario, and yeah, so I'm enjoying this pattern. I'm enjoying stitching it. Fabric choice is not a good deal. So the next project, though, that I will have in that bag when I start it, because it's also a restart, because also fabric was not big enough. So hopefully it's not going to be a call for today, because I haven't done my spin the wheel yet for today, but because it's March. But this is Antique Circle Sampler? No, Antique. Did I write them down yet in this book? I did. Antique Circle something. I'll put it down here. It's like 300 something by 300 something, so it's a big circle, but it's beautiful. And I had started it using Roxy Flosco floss, but then I realized the proportion, it's like 29,000 stitches or something, so that wasn't going to work out. So I'm probably going to also switch around my threads to just DMC, because that's a lot, man. That's a lot. Okay, so let's dive into the rest of this bin over here that has all of my stitch what you want when you want stitches. Okay, so I've done some of them, but Fancy Teapots is done. I did have one finish. We'll do that. I have a finished bag in here somewhere. I know I do because I created it. Yeah, so all my finished pieces for the year are going to be in a Ziploc bag, because why not? I can track all of my stitched pieces. So it was early on in the month, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it was February 3rd that I had finished this, so it feels like forever ago. Like, February was the longest month in the entire history. But also, I can cut this up and use it for something else. So because it's a big piece of fabric, thanks to Kaylee at Kaylee Tent Stitch on Instagram, and her website is down here. My goodness, guys. Okay, so this is Flowers from the Vampire's Boudoir. This is by, you're all saying it, it's a stitch for Sage, and Sage is from Night Spirit Studio. Oh my goodness, guys. So this was dyed for me. I asked Kaylee, I said, this is the pattern. What do you think? And so she sent me this fantastic piece of 20 count Aida. So I am now that I've showed you, I can now cut it up and use the bottom half for something if I choose to, when I choose to. So I'm finding oval and circle frames is the hardest thing. Everything is square. Everything is square. I feel like this needs to be in an oval frame though, because it's oval. Anyways, yeah, that was my one finish. So I had one finish and one page finish this month. So definitely not 3 page finishes, 3 full finishes like January, but that's okay. 4 finishes for the year. Hooray! So far. Winter sampler. So this is, I'm just going to pull them out one at a time. Okay, so this is also going to be, I put 106 stitches into this. This is one of my Mirabilias. And I'm trying to find the cover photo. Okay, so this is, surprise, surprise, Savannah's Curtsy. I decided I wanted to pull her out because, and see exactly where it was mixing up with this light, with this magnifying light, because when I was stitching it before, I did not have it, and so the counting was all screwy. I tried to pick things, like I tried to frog things out, and it wasn't working out so well, which, I don't know, and I'm going to try and find a different fabric. I'm not going to do white on white anymore, because I've learned that white on white for Julie does not work. So yeah, so I had tried to, I worked my way up here, and then I started working my way up here, and that was all fine. No, I worked my way up here. This was all fine. This is 107 stitches. But then I got into, and working through here was all fine. But when I got up into, no, this corner's fine. This end's fine. It's this corner. There's over 3s, over 2s, over 1s, over everything, and I wasn't able, I frogged out this up here so that this would line up with that, but then I realized that it was just too much. It's too much. I don't want it to be something that I dread working on. I want it to be something that I want to work on, because I'm still only on the bottom part of the, fold. So if people like my Mirabilia stitchers out there have any tips that I don't have to completely get rid of this whole thing and start over, let me know. If this was the first time I was working on, I'm pretty sure it's 28, 32, something. And it's been a journey. That's all I'm going to say about that. Sorry, at one point it was a love-hate journey, especially when I didn't have that magnifying glass light thingamajigger. But I have made photocopies of said pattern, because I have realized folding that paper does create bad things. Open and close, especially since I've been working on it for years. This is really, where's the actual, this was released in, I had it, I knew it, 96, 98. So this is MD26 Savannah's Curtsy, 1998. It's now 2024. Maybe, Mom, maybe one day you'll get it. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera today. Okay, maybe one day. Maybe one day. It was supposed to be like, it was a Mother's Day's gift, and then a Mother's Day gift, and then Mother's Day, oh my friends, Mother's Day gift, and then I was going to be like, I'm going to get it done for you by Christmas. Well, that didn't happen, eh? Not at all. Okay, so is Year of the Dragon. So I already had a Year of the Dragon. I already had a dragon work in progress going on. So this is Mini Dragon in the Morning by Randall Spangler. This is another way that I also organize my threads. So these are off Amazon. I just put a little sticky label here telling me the color numbers. These are way more stable, of course, than Lexus, than the cardboard, but there's only so many of these in the world right now because I did not buy any more. So I use those primarily to have my master set of DMC on, which is slowly growing. It's not all there yet, but this is what I use. It's just a... Anyway, I was only able to put 100 stitches into this because I did only work on it for one day, but one day is better than no days. So I will keep pulling them. When I do keep pulling this out, I'll keep using the hashtag Year of the Dragon Sal. Is that what it is? Who knows? I am still working through this for Royal Rose. Apparently I get through projects, I go through projects, everything has to be different. That's what I'm trying to say. So it's looking fantastic. I'm loving this. This is all the way across, so this is how wide it's going to be. I did put in this down here. This is what I worked on last time. Just because this is the, if I am doing Royal Rose, then it's the 20, 40, 60 mark all the way across. I think that is the page right here. That's the 80, or yeah, 80 across, 100 down, 98 down. Okay, so, and then I'm going to continue working like that. But this on camera looks fantastic. I mean, in real life it looks fantastic too, but I am super happy with this. This is a slow and steady wins the race kind of project, but that's okay. I've got all the time in the world, especially when it doesn't get called. Anyways, that's okay. At the beginning of the year, I'm still debating on whether I want to follow through with this or not, but at the beginning of the year, I chose 12 projects to focus on throughout the year, depending on, well, not even depending on, whether it be for WhipGo, or, so there's 12 projects on my WhipGo board, rotated through 2 times. So that makes sense. But there's the Alicia and Angie wheel. There's Stitches from a Booklet. Each of these, so Stitches from a Booklet has 4 in it. Full Coverage has 4 in it. The Dimensions 25/7, I combined those together because I want progress on them, but who knows when I'm going to finish them. So 25 minutes a day seemed good for me, to be able to just get progress in, right? So one thing that I did do this month coming up, so in March, if I wasn't going to work on So Busy for WhipGo and for my 25/7, so I deleted the 25/7 option. I also deleted the Celestial Gathering option, so that left me with Spring and Fairy Tale. So, but then I did add them back on the wheel after. Anyway, it's a whole thing. Okay, so what's next is another Mirabilia Nora Corbett. I am enjoying this one far more. I did start this one a long time after, so a lot of things have been learned. Stitch on Aida, that's the first roll. So this is a 16 count piece of white Aida, pretty sure. And so this is Miss Goss Swallowtail by Nora Corbett, NC241. I do have some other, what is the actual collection called? Butterfly Misses. I have 1 or 2 more that I picked up, but I haven't started yet. But for somebody who does not stitch Nora Corbett and Mirabilia, hold please. Charlotte. Okay, sorry for that interruption. Phone call from James's, whatever. Okay, so Nora Corbett. I am keeping this in a Ziploc bag, even though, because I have everything I need. Look at me growing up. Okay, so 16 count white Aida, and here I am. So I put in 114 stitches, and it's easier to just park the threads on the bottom because that's how it's going. So I think I put in 2 or 3 rows, black all the way across, and this is where we are with her. So when I'm done this wing, because this is clearly the second half of the bottom of the wing, I think I'm going to focus on the middle, minus all the beads, and then do her other wing, just so that I get a bit of variation. So finish her hair, this is all beads I think in here, and then finish her legs, and then move on to her next wing, so that I'm not stitching wing and wing, because I don't know, even though it's different all the way down, it seems a little same colors, right? That's Simon right there, if he ever turns around. Most of you know Simon. He is 6, he is my cat, and apparently I didn't know, but I need an emotional support animal. He is that. Alright. And then, what else is in here? There was 17 things I worked on, friends. 16 because I did Simple Gifts twice. But, alright, next. I feel like... Alright, so, it's in there. Okay, so, this is by Maria Diaz. I am only working on this little guy down here, the snowman, and the whole thing is called Winter Sampler. It came out of a magazine, but I can't tell you which one right now, because just the world of cross-stitching. Here we go. I put in, if you can see, I put in some stitches of his hat, and a lot of the background. There's supposed to be, on this side, there's supposed to be, in the actual chart, mittens right here. So I'm just stitching as I go, pretending that those stars are in there. Where is it? Mini Dragon, nope. Winter Sampler, 294. So before this, the border was done. I had started just going one way because I didn't know how I wanted to have the background, but so that the snowman would pop on the white fabric, but I didn't love it just being half stitches, so full stitches it is. And I also started, I don't know if you can see the ecru maybe on his hat, but he will be super cute when he's done. But little does not necessarily mean fast. Little is just little. But that's a full coverage little Santa. So I did pull out and then decided to not pull out this right here. This is Chick Chat Rose Chick Chat. I don't know if it's the chart. I can't figure out where I am. There's too many weird stitches. That was an option, but that didn't happen. I'm just going through the bin here because, you know, why not? And, okay, so some things that I did work on. I put 101 stitches into Forever by Alyssa Adelaide. This was released, like, I've had all these charts for a long time, but also colors on a cardboard, and it's on an 14 count black Aida, and yeah, it's gonna go this way, and it's gonna go this way. So 118 stitches. The colors are just popping off of this fabric, of course, because black on, or super colors on black is going to be fantastic. Far slower than I thought it was going to go, but it's still fun. There is one fancy floss in here that I am using. It is, if I still have the, actually, so there's a set of beads. Oh, here it is. It's a Threadworks And of course it's all completely unwrapped, but it is 1106, and it's a big disaster right now, and I'm hoping I can figure it out, but 1106. It does call for something else, but I didn't feel like that something else was what it was representing, so I felt this was far better. I am almost done everything in my bin at 55 minutes. Good job, guys. Alright, so here's hoping that I actually have space on my phone to render it. Hey, look what I found. I didn't know this was, hey, look what I found. How about now I just need to find a yellow one like this. Each colorway, try again. So from white to 451, I think, is on one colorway of cards. And then, so there's 5 or 6 cards of each color. So there's 4 different bags of colors. So this is one of the, oh, good. Because I was working on the, it's at the bottom now. I was working on A's 4, and I needed some of these colors. I did not have these colors. Okay, what else is in here? Okay, this is it. This is the last project in here. Okay, so Wolf by Dimensions did not make it to the full coverage thing because, or the Dimensions thing. So even though he is full coverage and the Dimensions, he didn't make it into either of those categories this year. So he is a Sweewee. I think I just like saying Sweewee. I put 255 stitches into Wolf this roundabout, this rotation, or this month, and here we go, and here he is. So before that, I only really just had his eye done a little bit, definitely like this 2 or 3 squares of his eye, and so I added all of this. My goal was to keep going up here so I would have an actual block of stuff, but time ran out, or that didn't happen, or whatever the case might be. But the definition and the, oh my goodness, it's so good. You know, it's all 2 threads. There's nothing that's more, but not yet, at least. There is some full cross like 1 thread full crosses, but not very many. So the Dimensions part of the Dimensions kit is going really well for me because everything is 2. I know that some of the stitchers out there have decided just to go 1/2 for whatever, for the whole thing, even though, so the bigger charts it would make sense. Anyway, so that is my bin. That is all I have. Just rounding out under an hour, which is fantastic for me because I didn't think I was going to talk this long. There is one more thing that I wanted to show you because I did not show you in January. At the beginning of this year, this was empty. It's just the little jar. So just the 100 gram jar. So it's not the big jar, but that's pretty packed in there already, and it's only March 1st. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, I can push it down still, but, you know, like, I don't think I've ever, I know those are mostly, there are a few bigger strands, but those are all mostly, littles. Anyway, thank you for sharing your time with me. One tip that I do have, for watching many floss tubes in a short amount of time is putting YouTube on 1.5 speed. Sometimes because people like me, who talk slowly, it takes an hour to get through, right? But for the slow talkers of the world, if you want them to be a regular like speed pace that you can still understand them, but put them on 1.5 speed. I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but I get through FlossTube a whole lot quicker. I do have some shout outs. Halloway Stitches. They're two sisters. Halloway? I'm going to put it down here. They grew up on that street. That's how they came with that name. It is Erin and Amity, and one is relatively new to stitching and one is a seasoned stitcher, but life gets in the way. So, they have great stuff. They are relatively new. I think they're only on episode 2 or 3 right now. I did not write any of these down, so anyways. There was a few more, but I'm not really, I didn't write them down and I can't remember right now, so it is what it is. We have made it past the hour mark, so that's fantastic. I don't know what I want to do with this piece. I don't know if I love it. I don't know. I don't know. Sorry, that was on top. I just decided to say random things. So yeah, so those are my plans for March. I do feel like I do want to film more than just once a month, because it felt like halfway through I had so much to share, but I wanted to stick to this once a month situation. But I might surprise you and come back halfway through March, because either I've made so much progress or I just can't wait to share. I do have post mostly daily all my projects on Instagram at Silver Stitches. There was one commenter for last video that shouted out one of my designs. She was so excited to see one of my designs in this. This is the Cross Stitchers Planner for 2024. It is by Lori Sykes, My Crazy Life Lori, here on YouTube and on Instagram. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I think that might be it. But she's also on Etsy. So this was the 2024 planner. At one point, she was also selling stickers for it. This is my first planner, so I haven't jumped into the sticker situation yet. But the cool thing about this planner was she added 11 designers. So this is the first. This was January. Songbird by Cosford Rise Stitchery. I think she is out of the UK, out of England. I'm just going to do the ones for the... So I don't know if these designers have put these designs out there anywhere else. I know I haven't, but maybe one day I will talk about my design journey, but that is not today. So this is Home by Maximum Cross Stitch. So that was February, and then March. I was planning on, this is just the chart, but I was planning on, when I had the idea to stitch all the things all year long and start all the things, I had an idea of stitching these once, like the month that they were in, but I'm going to hold this one back here. This one is from March. It's by Sambry Stitches. Of course, it's her infamous Bigfoot. So this one is Bigfoot Sews. Anyways, so all these designers are fantastic. I don't think I'm until May, maybe. I'm not going to show you April yet because, yeah. My design was Garden Mandala 1, because I have many. And I know it's little, but you can find me on Instagram as well, Silver Stitch Designs. I also have a Facebook group. I'm not really active on it right now. I'm not really posting anything, but most of my designs, so far, all of my designs are free. I do also have a Ko-Fi page, Silver Stitch Designs. So reach out to me at any of those places if you have any ideas, anything you want to just jump in and, say, can you think about, I did design something. I had this really cool, because I guess I'm a border designer. I don't really know. A really cool border, and I really didn't know what I wanted to put in the middle of the border. I went to post it on all my Facebook groups, my cross stitch Facebook groups, and said, I have this border. It's really cool. What should I put inside of it? Somebody, the infamous Carolyn, Carolyn from Caesar Stitch, jumped on board and said, how about you have this scene? And so I came up with, it's very, I'll put a picture of it in here, but it's very cartoonish, I should say. I feel like I'm not a realist design, like I can't, anyways, it's a whole thing. But this is definitely a journey for me, this designing thing, and I don't want to, I've been designing for as long as I can remember, but I just can't jump. I don't know how to jump, like how does one, and what price and all of that kind of stuff. Like I can't wrap my head around charging for my cross stitches yet. I can't, not yet. So I want to, because, it's something that I love and it's something that I want to share. But at the same point, I know how much stuff is. I know how much charts are. I know how much fabric and floss and all of the everything is. So one thing needs to be free. That's just how I roll. Something else that I had designed that got a little bit of popularity. This is called I'm filming on my phone. I design on my phone. Did I call it Flower Rose Garden? I think it's Flower Rose. It's right here. This is what my design was. I designed so that you can choose any colors you want, because that's part of the creative fun. So I give you a design with 2 or 3 colors, but then you can change it into whatever you want. So one stitcher a couple years ago turned it into this. This is the bottom of her, essentially, Smalls bowl, Smalls basket. And it's fantastic. I was really blown away by what, my design did to have her create this fantastic thing. Another thing that I've designed is called, this is all off the top of my head. I haven't been in the design mode for a long time now, but this is, I'll post a picture up here. I'll post the name of it down here. I sent it, so this is when I was still only doing the 8x8 grids. On my phone I have a program that I can do all the colors, I can do everything, but it's like a pixel, like an 8-bit pixel program, so the squares come out in 8s instead of 10s. So I sent it off to Tess Stitches. She is also on Instagram and YouTube and all of the things. She is not as active on Instagram anymore. I think she's on something else that I am not on. I think she jumped onto TikTok to do a lot of her videos now, because she's also not posting a lot of videos on YouTube, but whatever. But so I sent that off to her and she came back with this. Again, she turned it, I don't know if she's fully finished it yet because I haven't talked to her in a while, but she was going to turn it into a biscornu. How cool is that? How cool is that? She chose completely different fabric and floss than I thought she was, like, that I thought I had in my mind, right? So in total, I think I have 70 something, 105, 71 I don't know, one of those really big numbers of designs that I have that just haven't made it anywhere yet because I'm too within myself to share with everybody. If you are interested, follow me on Instagram, Silver Stitch Designs, and let me know. Let me know. Like, I can then. I do have a lot of things that I've also turned into PDFs. So on a laptop, which is, it's fine, but it's not my go-to, technology right now. So that's why. But I do have a lot of designs over there. I also did when Leo and Roxy was Leo and Roxy, and they first came out with the Pride colorway. I also designed some little. They were teeny designs for that colorway. Maybe one day. I found a bin. Where was the bin? I found a bin with all my finishes over since I started stitching, and so I was very excited to find it. Now I don't know where it is, but that's okay. And maybe I will pull all of those finishes out one day. That will be exciting. Anyway, so that was just a little bit of me on my design journey. I just started out on my phone with a program, and it either comes to me or it doesn't. I have designs in progress that have been there for, it feels like years, that I add a little bit to, and then I don't know about it, and so it either comes right away, or it just turns into something else, right? Of course, because that's how the design world goes. I don't draw it. I don't do anything like that. I'm not an artist for sure. I just decided to go. I just decided to jump that way. And so a couple years ago, I started the Instagram account. I decided to open a Facebook group. And so you can come over to the Facebook group if you want to. But I am more active on Instagram right now. And then if you see something that you like through my whole page or whatever, I can turn it into a PDF and email it to you. That's how I'm doing it right now. I don't know how, because I don't have any other platforms except for Ko-Fi, which I've only posted a few things on to get it to you. So anyway, that's enough of that kind of talk because I don't have anything else to say, and now I feel like I'm talking in circles. So that is Simon. You've already seen Lexus. She jumped around. Skitters, I took a picture of, so I'm going to insert a picture here. I have not seen Charlotte at all. I think she is sleeping with James. So those are the 4 cats. I guess I fed them early enough or late enough or whatever that nobody needed food. So now that I've been talking for an hour and 13 minutes, that's a lot. So I'm going to say sparkle and shine. Have a great day, and I will talk to everybody later. Bye, guys.